In a comic universe populated by alien saviors, billionaire vigilantes, and intergalactic police forces, Nightmaster stands apart as a mystical swashbuckler who once fronted a rock band. First appearing in Showcase in '82 and 1969, Nightmaster, real name Jim Rook, was created by writer Joe Kubert and artist Jerry Grandenetti. His blend of psychedelic fantasy, sword and sorcery themes, and 60s rock and roll culture makes him one of DC Comics' most fascinating deep-cut characters. Jim Rook was a struggling musician and lead singer of the band The Electrics, performing in Greenwich Village when his life took a sudden, fantastical turn. After wandering into an antique shop and finding a mysterious sword known as the Sword of Night, he was transported to a mystical dimension called Mira. There, Rook discovered that he was the heir to the realm's ancient prophecy, a chosen warrior destined to battle the forces of evil threatening Mira's magical lands. Taking up the mantle of Nightmaster, he left behind the music scene to embrace a new life as a dimension-hopping hero. The Sword of Night, a magical blade of immense power, became the key to Rook's transformation. Not only could it cut through nearly any material, but it also glowed in the presence of evil and bonded psychically with its wielder. Unlike many magical weapons in DC lore, the Sword of Night had a mind of its own, occasionally offering cryptic guidance and insight. Rook's adventures in Mira placed him among a realm of wizards, monsters, and ancient evil, far removed from the urban crime fighting of other DC heroes. Nightmaster's original run was brief. His debut story arc in Showcase lasted only 3 issues, and he faded from DC's publication schedule for decades. However, his cult appeal grew as Sword and Sorcery regained popularity, especially among readers who appreciated mythic storytelling with a rock and roll twist. Nightmaster returned to DC continuity in the 1990s and 2000s, often through titles dealing with magic and alternate realms. He notably reappeared in Shadow Pact, a mystical superhero team that included Blue Devil, Enchantress, and Detective Chimp. Here, Nightmaster was portrayed as the grizzled, older caretaker of a hidden magical bar known as the Oblivion Bar, a secret hangout for magical beings from across the DC universe. Rook, no longer the youthful rocker, had become a sage-like figure, offering advice, quests, and sometimes his sword to those in need. In Day of Vengeance and the broader Infinite Crisis storyline, Nightmaster played a background but vital role as one of the few grounded magical figures able to resist the unraveling chaos caused by the Spectre's rampage. His sword was considered one of the most potent magical artifacts in existence, and his experience in battling arcane threats made him a trusted ally among DC's mystics. Tragically, Nightmaster met his end in Dark Knight's Metal when he was killed defending the Oblivion Bar from monstrous invaders tied to the Dark Multiverse. After his death, the Sword of Night was inherited by Detective Chimp, continuing the magical legacy Rook had established. Though gone, his impact remained, as the sword and the stories lived on through those who carried the burden of mystical defense. Nightmaster embodies a rare archetype in superhero comics: the musician turned hero, the reluctant savior caught between two worlds, one mundane, the other mythic. His tales echoed the psychedelic, genre-bending spirit of the late 60s while tapping into timeless fantasy tropes. He was Conan the Barbarian with a guitar case, a bard who swapped songs for spells when destiny called. Though never a front-page icon, Nightmaster remains a cherished part of DC's mystical lore. His story is one of transformation, legacy, and the sacrifices made to keep magic in balance. He may not have played the biggest stage in the DC universe, but his final performance was heroic and unforgettable.